Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today's kind of a drama-based episode. Not entirely drama-based, but obviously drama-based because there's been some stuff going on in the World Championships, and that is not cool. And we can see the title of this Reddit thing here. E7 2021 World Champion Stone just deleted his account. So I want to just say, as we get into this video here, it is so important. It is like the number one thing you do as a company to ensure legitimacy, to ensure fairness, to ensure all sorts of things you need to ensure as somebody running a competitive tournament. Things go smoothly. They need to make sure of that, right? And I think it's even more important for a game like this because let's be real. This isn't about skill for the most part, right? Like, you can only be, in quotes, so skillful at certain games, and there's then so much power you gain by money spent. So I think the fact that this game is fueled in terms of who the best players are by money spent a lot. Like, obviously, there might be some free-to-play players that get really lucky with their drops and are able to compete, but the vast majority are Omega whales, right? Especially like the top tier ones, you can obviously tell. And I think it's justifiable that somebody like that would get pissed off if they lost because of technical limitations of the game that should have been in place to fix this situation. That was a lot of words. I don't think I entirely made sense there, but you know what I mean. Basically, there's lots of stakes. There's money being spent to be able to compete in these tournaments, and stuff has gone wrong. So we'll read this in a second here. Actually, maybe we won't. It's really long. But we'll read this. So Rug Dealing here says, for the people confused. In yesterday's last qualifiers match, Stone was 1-0. Someone between Stone and Ivy disconnected in the second game. They're unsure of who. Game is remade and speed RNG happens. They remake the game again. In the next 40 minutes, it is assumed that Stone argues with Smilegate for like 40 minutes about their speed tuning being RNG'd because they were not happy. It does seem like SG cannot set the CR of units as they want during remake. So this is why replays are so heckin' important. I've been saying how important replays are, not to even competitive like importance, but just for the game in general, right? Like, replays and being able to resume from replay is such a massive thing in competitive games. But it's really frustrating we don't have that. Like, if your app closes during a guild war, you just lose, for example. There's so many things that should be resumable from replay that are not, and I think it's up to Smilegate to have these things in motion. And this is what's important here, is because there are kind of ways to remake, but not really in this game. And unfortunately, there is the dreaded speed RNG, which I think everybody hates. Let me know in the comments if you don't hate speed RNG.
We'll have to see.
That ruins everything. So this is how this goes. So notice right as they go into the battle, what matters here is turn order. That is like the number one thing that matters, because that changes the entirety of the whole game. So we see Stone goes first here, and the battle has been paused. So what this means is somebody DC'd and they have to remake. So now there's AOL skill 3.
Okay, here we are. Off to the races.
And
so
then she DCs here again, or they. I'm not sure which one of them DCs. So that's 2 DCs now. And then we have to take a look at other important things. Like, for example, when you're remaking a game like that, you really need to be sure that things are similar, because look at how close these are to each other, especially when you combine stuff like Politis boosting CR up. There is a huge difference of like who is ahead of who, even by those small margins like this. So the difference in the timestamps can be entirely different, and we can see how things are different. Specifically here, we can see Destina above in one and Destina behind in the other, it looks like. So you can see a lot going on here, and that completely changes the battle. So it's understandable that somebody got pissed. And let's read some more here. AOL landed the same debuffs, which is praise RNG, I guess. And then Destina is a bit back on the CR bar, which is not great. And Politis pushes ahead of Destina in the remake instead of Destina taking the following turn. So again, that changes everything. So again, a lot of this is word of mouth. So take everything with a grain of salt just as we read through this. At some point, we assume Stone or whoever owns the account calls it quits, and they forfeited to the match because they were tired of arguing. This is where the stuff about SGS, game proof about the DC, and all that back and forth, but I haven't seen evidence of that aside from word of mouth. So I think this is somebody who I guess has spent a lot of money. Again, all conjecture, all taking words out of my head and throwing darts, and hopefully I'm correct. But I would imagine somebody who has spent a boatload of money and is getting screwed over, in quotes, because of stuff like this is probably pretty frustrated. And they must have got really frustrated because they literally just deleted their account. So we can take the video here. This is Stone. Again, this guy won the 2021 WC, they said. So they're showing all their stuff here, all their things from all the stuff. Delete, 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 delete. So yeah, they deleted the account here, and I'll read this a little bit, but again, Google Translate, language differences, again, be considerate, and how do I say that? This is so hard to articulate, guys. Be nice. That's all I was trying to say. So after careful consideration, I made the decision to reset the account. The fuse, see, this is what I mean. There was some anger going there. You don't say fuse if you're like not angry, right? Was yesterday's official competition. The outsourcing team did not have any contingency plans for emergency, causing the situation to gradually get out of control. The fundamental reason is that since the account won the championship, it has suffered a lot of undeserved honors. After winning it, it has no energy to take care of it, and the 25 speed badge is 0 out of 5. I got up early today to review the situation of yesterday's qualifiers, and I feel a little sorry. They've been fighting since the first season and still maintain peak combat power. Yeah, so there's a lot going around here. It looks like this account has been tossed around to a ton of different people too, which feels like it shouldn't be legal in itself. But that's another question here. So, it's tough to say what to do here. I feel like deleting your account is pretty drastic, but if you're at the top tier of competition and you are just that frustrated, that sometimes the best way to go about it is just to completely get rid of the situation entirely. So yeah, I'll leave this in the comments below. I think this is pretty important for them to fix, and I imagine it will be fixed, because something like not being able to resume from replay exactly like it was is just completely unacceptable in my opinion. So yeah, I just thought this was interesting. Like this is pretty big. Like if you think about it, how much they're trying to push their world championship, and to have a person who won the championship in 2021 literally delete their account during the world championship is crazy to me. And this isn't like some other game person throwing a hissy fit and deleting their account and they can just remake a new one, right? Like it's not like that with Epic 7. If you delete your account, assuming they don't bring it back, which they might, you never know, that's crazy, right? Like imagine me deleting my Epic 7 account, how hard it would be for me to get back to where it was. I would literally never get there, right? So this is crazy. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Nothing too insane, but I think this is a pretty important discussion topic to talk about. Also, let me know in the comments below what you think about this situation, and do you like watching the World Championship? Is that something you're super up for, or do you just ignore RTA? Do you not care at all, you know? So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.